I'm going to do some of the problems from 6.4 that you have to do. These are all about finding trig values of different functions. I'm going to write some things over on the right that we'll use throughout the whole thing. The first one is our when are they positive acronym, so it's ASCT. You can do all students take calculus if you go down that way, or you can just call it SACT if you go around clockwise. And this is when they're positive. So sine, well, we'll start with all. All of them are positive, then going counterclockwise. Sine is positive, cosine's positive, tan's positive. I did that wrong. Take calc. SACT going clockwise. Alright, so the other thing that we want to have is the chart. So I'm going to pause it and write that because you should know how to do that at this point. Okay, so this chart over here on the right that just showed up, you should understand where that comes from, how to get it. We've done it a bunch in class. So I'm going to go through some of the problems. 33 says that sine theta is greater than 0 and cosine theta is less than 0. And it wants you to name which quadrant it's in. So sine's positive, cosine's negative. If you look over here, the only spot where that's true is this quadrant right here. Sine's the only one that's positive there. If I were to look at the other one where sine's positive, it would be all in the cosine would be positive. So the answer to this one is quadrant 2. That should help you with 37. You should be able to do that no problem. Now I'll go on to 40. Let me erase the one in the 40s. Next one you want to do is 41. So I want you to find the reference angle. It's negative 30 degrees. That puts me down here. So this one is easy. The reference angle is just the angle that I would go to get back up to the x-axis, which is just 30. So that's number 41. I believe that's one you have to do. Let's see. Yeah. Number 45, really similar, asks for the reference angle. It gives us 210. So I'm going to graph that. Remember, I go counterclockwise. This takes me around 180. It puts me in this quadrant down here. So this is my 210 degrees that way. The reference angle is this back up to here. This is 180. This is 210. So I can subtract the two and get 30 degrees, and that's my answer for that one. Last one of these I'm going to do is 49. 49. It asks for the reference angle for 8 pi over 3. You should know, and we can use the chart to figure it out, that pi over 3 is 60 degrees. So this is where radians actually get easier, in a sense. I'm going to just count by pi over 3's. So I'll do it in red. This is 1 pi over 3, that's 60 degrees. Another 60 degrees takes me to here, so that's 2. This is 3. 4 is down here. 5 is down there. 6 is here. 7, 8. 8's here. So 8 pi over 3 is here. You need to figure out the reference angle down there. It's pretty obviously between those two big red lines, which was where I was counting by pi over 3's. So the reference angle is just pi over 3. That's it. Okay, now I'm going to move on to some of the ones where I'm actually finding out sine cosine of things. So, for example, number 59 says to find the sine of 150. First thing I do is graph it. So I go around like this. I'm going to land in this quadrant right here, 150 degrees. I need to figure out the reference angle. So to do that, I look at how long it would take me to get to the x-axis. Since this is 180 degrees, I can subtract the two and get 30 degrees. So my reference angle is 30, which I'll use in the next step. So sine of 150 is equal to, if you look over here, it tells me that sine is positive in that quadrant. So I know that my value is going to be positive. And then I take 30, I take the reference angle, so it's positive sine of 30. From here, I look at the chart, which shows me, I'll put a little mark in red, I look at that one right there, sine of 30, so that gives me equal to positive 1/2. That's that. Alright, the last one I'm going to do for you guys is number 67. 67. It says to find the secant of 240. So here you need to use the relationships between sine, cosine, tan, and their cos, their 1/overs. So secant 240 is equal to 1 over cosine 240. So I need to find the cosine of 240, and then if it's a fraction, flip it. If it's just a regular number, I do 1 over it. So I'm going to talk about trying to find the cosine of 240. So I'm going to plot it. So 240 is between 180 and 270, so that puts it down here, like that. I need to look at the reference angle, which is coming back up to the axis. That is, I do 240 minus 180. That gives me 60. So it's a 60-degree reference angle. From there, I'm just going to write out the work for cosine of 240, so I want to find the cosine 240. That gives me, it's equal to, well, tan, so if I look here, tan is the only one that's positive there, so I know that that's negative. I also know that the reference angle is 60 from this right here, so I'm going to look at, well, hold on, I'll write it out. So I know that's equal to negative cosine of 60. So I'm going to look at the box. Cosine 60 is 1/2. So I go ahead, and that's equal to negative 1/2. So if I go back up top, right here, I need to do my secant of 240 is 1 over cosine of 240. So my cosine of 240 is 1/2. So I do 1 over 1/2 negative, which is, I just take the reciprocal of it, which gives me -2, and that's my answer. Hopefully that helps with everything.